Hi guys. Today I woke up with a terrible nose. It's all runny, really running like a tap. In case you guys are eating, sorry, just to warn you. That just what I'm initially want to talk about. My nose is running like a tap, just like leaking. Like when you're walking around the kitchen or whatever, it's just falling down. So you have to have a tissue to. The inside of my nose is all like itchy, like there are bloody tiny worms in there, like bacteria wanting to explode. I was sneezing my brains out this morning, and that's because I binged last night. But I think the binging is not so bad. I had a packet of crisps, and in the crisps there were lots of different kind of flavors, but they weren't gluten. But I think there was some chili flavor, some potassium something, or so that it gave it a nice taste. Maybe some sugar. Nothing that really. They were basically, I think they called them Max, the chili flavor crisps, and I thought they'll be okay. But I think they may have sent me over the edge. The whole bloody big pack of them. I had also creme caramel. I had a tea, and what else did I have? But during the day, I had about 3 or 4 bananas, large bananas. Although they were organic, bananas are histamine releasers. They don't have histamine, but they help to release histamine. And I ate the bananas because of, acid reflux, because I stopped taking omeprazole for 2 days, and then I had terrible acid. So then I took omeprazole for 1 day, and yesterday I didn't take omeprazole again, and today I haven't taken any, but I feel like when you eat bread, I feel it getting stuck already. So immediately there's damage to the esophagus, and it becomes like LPR, kind of silent reflux. You think you're stopping the reflux, but you're still refluxing. Something's happening, without you getting lots of symptoms. People say, take slippery elm, take DGL, deglycerized licorice root. It's a type of licorice that they take I think glycerin, the part of the licorice that gives you high blood pressure. So it's safer to take DGL, and that coats the esophagus and the stomach. Yeah, all these things are great, but what omeprazole does, or a drug, is it shuts down acid production for like 24 hours. So when you take these substitutes, take some DGL. You're having to take it all day. So if I take slippery elm, it's not as if by magic. You take some slippery elm is a powder that you mix in water, and it gets all gooey, and basically it coats the esophagus and the stomach. So the idea is when you reflux, it will protect. The same thing with the licorice, the DGL licorice. But your system, your stomach, everything is constantly moving. So basically, when you take slippery elm, say at 12 o'clock, you take some slippery elm, within 15 minutes or 20 minutes, half an hour, you've got acid again. Because it's not going to just stay there, is it? It's going to move down. I mean, you'd be in serious trouble if when you ate food, it just stayed there, or it was really slow. You'd have massive amount of acid reflux. When I think it's called motility or transit time is really slow, then you have more reflux. Or if you've got like constipation, yeah, then things back up and you will get lots of reflux. Yeah, without the drug, I find that, okay, I have a bit of acid, I take slippery elm at 12 o'clock, let's say. Within 15 minutes, I need more. So let's say you take DGL. Within another 15 minutes, you have to basically be coating your esophagus all day. And I'm not talking about on the hour, every hour, on the hour. It has to be even less than that. Like even maybe every half hour, to avoid, because during the day you're getting reflux. You're getting you're getting reflux, but you're having the lower esophageal sphincter, is relaxing. I think they're called transient lower esophageal reflux, lower esophageal relaxations, something like that. TLERS's S. Well, anyway, that's what I've been trying to do, and so many people online say take apple cider vinegar and you won't. And I think what happens is when you take apple cider vinegar, it fucking burns your esophagus so much that you don't even feel acid. So I took apple cider vinegar, and then afterwards I thought, oh, okay, I feel good. But I take it for a few days, and then I feel like more burning, and I feel damage in the actual esophagus. And I don't know why. I think maybe because I drink teas, so I stopped teas for those 2 days, and I was feeling so lethargic and tired. I'm gonna have to sort out a plan. I think I know already what to do. Diet is only one part. Losing weight is a big part. A restriction of some sort, whether it's calorific restriction, time restriction, carbohydrate restriction, or if you go vegan, like fat and animal food restriction. I'm leaking now. Absolutely leaking. It's been great. Sorry about that. Yeah, so those are my thoughts, and you'll have people say, I think one of the persons that commented said, in one of my earlier videos, they said, oh, you've got that mucus in your throat, and that's to do with aspiration. And it's true, he's right. He's a smart person. I thought, I have this mucus, this post-nasal drip, like in the back of your throat. You have that mucus and you don't know what to do with it. It's not like that bloody horrible yellow one or brown one. It's just clear, like just a mucus. But it comes from, or I think it could come from GERD, or gastroesophageal reflux disease, because if you're refluxing either acid, pepsin, or bile, these three, and it's not always a liquid, it's gas as well. So you actually it can damage the throat. It can get to your ears as well, inside your ears, and I think into your nose. It's not as if you notice like smoke is coming out of your ears. You don't really notice, but you feel pain, tingling in your ears, in your nose, everything. And what it can do is then acid could go into your lungs, and your lungs protect themselves obviously by creating mucus. So you're aspirating, you're swallowing, or acid is going into your lungs, and then your lungs react by all this acid, all this mucus. And I thought, oh, okay, I've got a histamine problem, because histamine causes that as well. I think because over the last year or two, I've tried to reduce the omeprazole, the acid reflux medication, and yeah, that's the result. I think I've tried to reduce the medication whilst not addressing my weight, whilst not addressing my addiction to tea. So, I've tried to change diet as if the carnivore diet is going to be some miracle, or the vegan diet is going to be some miracle diet. Those diets are miracle diets, but not necessarily because of the diets themselves, but because of what happens. A raw vegan diet, for example, with no fat, and a high fat carnivore diet, both can make you lose weight. So by losing weight, you've got less intra-abdominal pressure. And so that causes less reflux. That could be a way out. But if I've got hiatal hernia, I think I was diagnosed with a sliding hiatal hernia when I was in China. Was it 15 years ago? So if that's gotten any worse, then no matter how much apple cider vinegar you put down there, or no matter what carnivore diet you do, if that door is open, like this is your mouth, this is the esophagus, and this is the opening of the stomach. If you've got a hiatal hernia, which is your stomach herniating through the hiatus, which is maybe here, let's say here, and then into your, this les, and like keeping it partially open maybe, or weakening it, then the more acid you put into your stomach, this is weak, and you have more acid going up. The more fat you put into your stomach, the more the les is weakened. I mean, some people say the more fat you eat, conventional wisdom, the more fat you eat, the more the les, this sphincter, is going to remain open. It's going to weaken, and it's going to cause more of these transient relaxations. But the carnivores nowadays say, no, that's not true. It's only because those studies were done on omnivorous diet. So you had people eating lots of meat and fat plus carbohydrates, maybe junk carbohydrates. And so this whole mixture makes it seem that, well, no, it's true that the more fat you eat on omnivorous diet, the more problems you have. And that's because of the carbohydrates. If there were no carbohydrates, then you wouldn't have the problem. I don't know. It hasn't been the case for me. you know, the more carbohydrates I take away and the more fat and meat I eat, it's I don't know if it's worked or if it hasn't worked. Like, it works for the first few days, then it kind of doesn't work. I don't know. It's a bit difficult, you know, to gauge, really. It's not that easy. Because with apple cider vinegar, it works for the first few days and then it doesn't work. That's because it takes a few days for the esophagus to be so damaged that when you eat something, then things feel like they're getting stuck because the esophagus is being eroded away every day. The same with the carnivore diet. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to try each diet again and really take notes and see how I feel. But I have to do something to come off this medication. I'll try anyway, because it's not really good for your kidneys, your brain, your everything. Those are my thoughts today about my diet and yeah, trying to come off omeprazole. It's super hard. But I think the reasons are, one, I'm still fat, or you know, I'm still overweight. I'm 105 kilos. I should be 73 kilos. That's my ideal weight for my body, my height, everything. And I've been overweight for 3 decades since starting that bloody Paxil or the SSRI, the antidepressant. Because you feel chilled out and you don't really want to move around. You feel sleepy, and you think, oh, what's the point? You're happy. You don't need any endorphin rush or anything, and you end up eating too much. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. You know, some people say, well, why don't you just take it for the rest of your life? Because omeprazole and PPIs have been shown to, in some studies, it's suggested that they can like destroy your kidneys. They can also, there's a link to dementia. Also, there's a link to gastric cancer. I mean, it's not good. So the sooner I can come off, the better. The problem is, another study showed that Paxil, or the SSRI that I'm taking, the antidepressant, relaxes this low esophageal sphincter. So maybe no matter what I do, there's always going to be that relaxation. So maybe that's why I haven't been able to come off, because one drug affects the other. One drug affects the acid reflux. And so because you're taking this drug, you have to take the other. So maybe if I stop taking this, it'll be easier to come off, maybe. But how do I come off the antidepressant? I've gotten down to 5 milligrams. I found it really hard to come off the last bit. Anyway, I'll give it a go. Bye. Speak to you guys later. The dogs have all jumped out, so I'm gonna have to deal with them now. Okay. Speak to you guys in the next video. Oh, yes. I didn't say anything controversial, so there shouldn't be many of these. Yeah, apart from, you know, those diet people who follow the diet so religiously that you say anything against it, it's like talking about politics or religion. It becomes a cult, like a religion. Like I was in one video, I was talking about the carnivore diet, and it hasn't worked for me, or you know, I went to the hospital because I did it wrong. Then I said, like, it's not the carnivore diet's fault. I did it wrong, and so you have to be careful. You have to hydrate. You have to increase fat. You have to increase electrolytes. And this guy says, I think he replied. He wrote a comment. He says, "Don't talk about something you know nothing about." It's just like a religion. Fucking hell, it's just a way of eating. That's all it is. It's the proper way of eating. All human beings from all of humankind have it this way. No, they haven't it all this way. They've got their followers. Like, there's a guy called Bart K, and such a rude, such a rude man. I mean, he's cleaned up his act now, but he was, I'm not sure. Yeah, he was swearing. He was taking the piss out of all the vegans and calling them really bad names, and he's so horrible, but in a funny kind of way. But I mean, he really went over the top, so he must have had loads of complaints. That's why he cleaned up his act. And he's a professor. Yeah, but he's all right, but he comes over as a know-it-all. He knows everything, you know. He said because of isotope testing, you know, it proves that human beings ate meat like millions of years ago. Yeah, it proves that we ate meat for a certain percentage of our of our existence. And it's true. I mean, it's very natural for human beings to eat meat. I agree. But they're so, how do you say, anal about it. You know, you have to go that way. It's like I mean, I would agree and I would join their camp if it was a panacea, which it seems to be for many people. But the problem is with every cult, if you have some members that don't do well, you know, they're told, shut the fuck up. No, basically, you have to be quiet. Just like this guy is saying to me, I probably know more about the carnivore diet than he does. And he's saying to me, don't talk about anything you don't know anything about. All right, ask me any question on the carnivore diet, I'll answer it. So it's like a religion, you know, if it doesn't work, you just don't have enough faith in the Lord or whatever religion, I don't know, Allah or whatever religion it is, you know. If something doesn't happen for you and you've been praying to whatever God or whatever, it's your fault because you don't have any faith. Yeah, it's always your fault. And if things go well, oh, praise be to God. You know, so basically, I mean, this God is so like fragile that when it's not, when it's because it's never his fault or her fault or whatever it is, it's always your fault. But when things go wrong, oh, praise be to the Lord. Praise be to, you see what I mean? There's nothing wrong with praising the Lord, but the thing is, when it goes wrong, it's because you didn't have enough faith. Same thing with not with a religion, with these diets. If something goes wrong, it's your fault. You didn't do it properly. You know, as if the diet is some kind of magical technique to bring you back all your health. Yeah, in a sense, it's right. It is your fault because if you have various disease processes going on in your body, that diet won't fit you. So how special is that diet? It's not special at all. If you've got hemochromatosis, which is a genetic condition whereby you're absorbing too much iron already. So I think it's like 4 milligrams a day instead of the normal 1 milligram. So your body packs on iron into its organs, liver, kidney, brain, whatever. And then when your liver and other organs are damaged and scarred, it's too late. It's fucking too late. If you're eating a carnivore diet, which, you know, you have lots of heme iron, which is easily absorbable iron, then you're completely screwed. If you didn't know that you had this condition, then it's a very bad diet. I mean, unless you, like, if you know and you say, okay, I'm going to eat the carnivore diet, and you practice the phlebotomy, you get rid of blood every month or whatever to bring down your ferritin and all your iron markers. Yeah, so that's I don't really listen to those people. I just think of the diet like the carnivore diet and think, what did I do? I do think, what did I do wrong? But now I'm not thinking, what did I do wrong? Because I think I did things right. I'm thinking, why is it my body is not accepting this diet? And there are reasons why. So I have to try and work around those reasons until I get to the point where I just can't even work around those reasons, that my body just won't accept that diet. It might not be able to accept the vegan diet. I might have to, you see, all these diets are restrictive diets. They're carnivore restricts carbohydrates and sugar. Vegan diets or raw vegan diets restrict cooked food. But an ordinary vegan diet, like whole foods, plant-based diet, you know, the healthy version of a vegan diet, because you can be eating pizzas, crisps, cakes. That's a vegan diet. But a whole foods, plant-based diet restricts meat and fat. So they have no oil, those people, and no fat. Sorry, no fat, no meat, you know, animal products. So you restrict any food with cholesterol and any food with fat and high amounts of protein. I think most fruits and vegetables are about 10%, 9% protein. Apart from like avocado, they're low, very low in fat as well. Avocado and nuts. So they're all restrictions, aren't they? So, but what you could do is eat a combination of both a balanced diet and restrict calories, or you can restrict time restricted eating. So you might eat your meal once a day or only twice a day. I think the answer lies in restriction. Obviously, you know, good quality food or nutrient dense, and it depends. You know, food that is high in vitamins, minerals. If you have a problem with your gut, then the antioxidants that you get, polyphenols and everything that you get in vegetables, might harm your gut and increase oxidation and increase inflammation. So the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory potential is lost, really. So maybe you're neutral or maybe even worse. So that's why on a carnivore diet, although yes, you eat in protein, fat, there's minerals and some vitamins or whatever, you don't have any antioxidant. Well, I think you have a few, but not that many antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds, because you don't need them, because the gut isn't being kind of damaged by certain carbohydrates, fibers, or vegetable or plant fibers. So that's the idea. The gut is chilling out, and so that's how the carnivore diet can be anti-inflammatory and have antioxidant like capability, or should I say, oxidation is less, because you're not pounded in fruits and vegetables, bread, grains, which if your gut isn't good, you go on a vegan diet. Like, for example, if I go on a vegan diet, there's not many foods I can eat. Nuts give me like cold sores because of the arginine. Is it arginine? Arginine inside it. And so I have to take lysine to combat the high arginine. So, okay, nuts I can't eat, or not that many. Otherwise, my nose will be really red and I'll get a spot there. So then I've got problems with histamines with quite a few vegetables. Fruits I can't eat because I've got fungal overgrowth of SIFO. It's called SIFO, small intestinal fungal overgrowth. So I'm left with vegetables. Certain vegetables actually harm the gut. So, and also grains. I can't eat grains because they harm the gut. I can't eat gluten. So I'm not left with many vegetables at all. I could do it. I still could do it with the vegetables left over, because there are still loads of vegetables and fruits, but I have to seriously cut. I would have to cut down almost all of them in order for me to try a proper raw vegan diet. Like carrots, I can have carrots, zucchini, lettuce, broccoli in small amounts. But then if you have broccoli or cruciferous vegetables raw, they're goitrogenic, they affect your thyroid. And I was borderline hyperthyroid. My thyroid was a bit low. My TSH was a bit high. So I don't want to increase. Of course, if you cook your broccoli, cauliflower, it's okay. It should be okay. But if you eat a certain amount raw, then it becomes, they're goitrogens. They affect your thyroid. So it becomes problematic, shall we say. Or at least that's what people say. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to try each one individually and see what happens. But for now, I think I just have to go back onto the medication, because I have to stop my esophagus being damaged, because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you keep having your esophagus attacked, you end up with something called Barrett's esophagitis, and that's usually a pre-cancerous condition. 10% go on to esophageal cancer, and that's really really horrible, because if I think they have to take out they have to break your sternum, I think, and then take out the esophagus from here, if it hasn't spread anyway, to the bottom, and then you're on PPIs for the rest of your life. Then you can't stop taking PPIs. That's what happens. That's the danger if you stop taking acid reflux medication. If you do take it, you've got other dangers, and both dangers are, both dangers include cancer, like gastric cancer. If you keep taking the PPIs, you have a chance of getting gastric cancer. If you don't take it, you have a chance of getting esophageal cancer. So I have to do something to stop my. I might have to come off the Paxil, the SSRI, the antidepressant medication. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, thanks guys for listening to me. Yeah, I know what you guys are going to do. Look, you're going to say, yeah, lose weight, do exercise, and that's absolutely right. Go back to the basics, because the basics, you were made to move. You're created to have two legs, two arms, to move around. I'm sitting in that around most of the time on the computer, making some videos sometimes, bending down and cleaning the poo for the dogs, and then sitting down and watching something, and then eating. You know, but I should be walking with the dogs. Thing is, when I take one out, the rest go crazy. It's so stressful because they're a pack. They all want to go out. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to walk every one of them. So even if I walk 20 minutes, so that'll be like 2 hours each dog. All the dogs together. Thanks, guys, for listening to my ramblings. And yeah, I don't want to make controversial videos because people don't understand on YouTube. It's like you're taking the piss a little bit, and people get butt hurt. They don't realize that YouTube is like entertainment. You're supposed to say things that are a little bit stupid, a little bit funny, a little bit risky. They just get so hurt. I mean, one woman was saying to me, I don't believe it. She said to me, like, I'm a effing pervert. And you know why? Because I said I like younger women. And in the video, I didn't say I like a 12-year-old or anything like that. All I said is I like from 25 to 35. And I said, even that's very young. And I admitted it. It's not as if I said, yeah, I'm chasing after young women. No, I just said the idea, women of that age are more attractive to me. How the fuck am I a pervert? It's not as if I'm chasing them. I want to have sex with them. And this is the thing, like, this woman was so butthurt because she probably thinks I want to shag. I don't. I don't want to shag. That's why I'm, yeah, you can say I'm weird, but I'm not a pervert. She called me an effing pervert. And then she took away her, she took away the reply, so only I can see it. Yeah, so I reported her. It's not going to make any difference. I banned her as well. Yeah, so, as I said, butt hurt. And it's not as if I said that I like young children or anything like that. For me, that's a pervert. But nowadays, you can't even say anything bad about them. They're called, instead of paedophiles, what are they called now? A more respectable name. Was it minor attracted persons? I'm not fucking one of those, that's for sure. I even think that, like nowadays, guys like women to shave off their nether regions, that part there. And I think that's kind of bordering on the pedo. You know, that's because if you think about it, only elderly women, maybe in their 90s or 100 or whatever, and prepubescent girls, maybe 10 years old. I don't know what age they start, but probably, what is it, 8 or something? Before puberty happens, then you start growing hair. And men want that. It's as if this is the link I make. The link is like children, I can't even say it, but anyway, girls under a certain age are bald there, right? Because the hormones haven't started up yet. And men want women to shave that area. And for me, it's like men wanting to shag a lady in the anus. That is gay. For me, it just seems gay. But okay, but wanting a woman to shave, it's even worse. I think it's even worse. I don't know. It's just my opinion, but maybe I'm too old fashioned, you know. Yeah, and it happened to me once. One girl, she turned up, and she with no hair, and I said, no, sorry. Well, I didn't say sorry. I didn't reject her, but I said, no, I don't feel like it. It just felt really uncomfortable, and because of that reason, it's like like she's a child or something, or it just feels strange. It's just like, you making love to a woman, then you find out that she's bald. It's like I'm having sex with myself. Having sex with a man, like a bald man. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. For me, it's weird. You know. But I'm not going to call them perverts. I just think it's a bit. I don't know. Obviously, they're not perverts because that's the in thing. But and also, men have to shave their nuts. You can fuck off. I ain't shaving my nuts for anyone. No, that definitely. It's not even gay. I'm sure gay men don't shave there. I don't know what the hell they do, but yeah. So anyway, I can't end my video without some controversy. I know someone's going to get butt hurt and they're going to say, "Why do you talk about these things?" I don't know. It's just some things that are on my mind. What do you want from me? Anyway, definitely now there's going to be loads of these. All right. See you guys in the next video if you want, if you manage to turn up. All right. Bye.